Well, I came to US to go to graduate school in 1995. So on my second day in Madison, I went to the UW Credit Union to open an account. There's no personal checking account in China. Everybody pays cash. So I had been carrying my first semester tuition and living expenses all in cash. So when it was my turn, I took out $5,000 from this pocket and $5,000 from this pocket and put on the counter. The young teller was so startled that she called for a security guard. And her supervisor and the security guard came and ushered me into a small office. They counted the cash, still warm, and opened the account for me. And then the supervisor handed me a new checkbook. I had to ask her to show me how to use it. When she said that you just need to sign it to make it valid, I couldn't believe it. You mean I don't need to have my school seal on it to prove it's real? She said, no, we trust you. Wow, suddenly I feel myself very important. In China, almost every binding document requires some authority's seal. An ordinary person's signature doesn't mean much. But here, my signature counts. I have this power not because I'm part of a very powerful organization or family, but just because I'm a human being. That respect for individual life was foreign but very touching for me. Soon I discovered individual life is also valued publicly here. Chinese newspaper, we don't carry obituaries unless that person is a high official or a celebrity. So when someone told me Wisconsin State Journal has an obituary page every day, my first reaction was, what kind of place is Wisconsin where officials and celebrities die every day? Soon I realized one doesn't have to be powerful or famous to deserve obituary in newspaper. Every life, even a baby's, is worth remembered publicly. I was moved deeply. That kind of respect and appreciation for individual life, everyone, regardless of its status, for me, that's the essence of a democracy. I want to live in such a society. So I filed my immigration paper in year 2000. That's also the year I watched a lot of TV to follow the election and the Wisconsin Badgers football season after winning the Rose Bowl 2 years in a row. Both were fascinating and eerily similar at times. Both seemed numbers game. So I can understand why some people don't vote, because their votes don't change the results of election. But I'm also curious how those people think of the movie Saving Private Ryan. That movie caused a big debate in China. Some people argue it doesn't make sense to sacrifice 6 people to save 1. Therefore, the movie must be American propaganda. Others praised the movie for its reflection of a unique part of American culture, the ultimate care for life. There are occasions when life cannot be measured by any number, one for all and all for one. So, what one does may not change the outcome of an event, but it's never in vain. To participate is to say yes to life, to join the force of life. Voting is such an occasion, even when you're voting just for the Supergirl. Similar to American Idol, this show allowed millions of Chinese to vote for the first time in their lives. 400 million people, that's more than the combined populations of the United States and Canada, watched the finale in 2005 and sent the winner, Li Yuchun, to the cover of Time Asia magazine. A state-run newspaper, Beijing Today, ran the headline, "Is Supergirl a force for democracy?" The show became eventually too popular for its own good. The government shut it down last year. So I became a registered voter on the same day I became the citizen. And the following year, I voted for the first time in my local election. I found it really difficult to decide which candidate to vote for when there's not much local news coverage. So I relied heavily on the candidates' answers put out by the League of Women Voters. This year, I just voted by mail, my first presidential vote. I was really surprised. There are actually 10 candidates on the ballot. Wonderful. I admire people who put themselves out there as candidates when they know they have no chance of winning. This year, the trouble is too much information or misinformation. It's work to be a good citizen. Well, fortunately, I relied on a lot of fact checkers to help me form decisions. As I cast my first presidential vote this year, Frank Tanabe cast his last. A 93-year-old Japanese American, he was taken out of college and sent to an internment camp at the beginning of World War II. He volunteered to join the American Army and won a medal. He had never missed voting in any single presidential election since he became a citizen. He died less than 2 weeks ago, so please vote. Thank you.